Welcome to Toffee TV. I think we were deciding who was going to actually just do the hosting.
Go on. It's all good.
Take turns. Premier League is last weekend for a couple of weeks. Yes. Drop some chips. Well, to be fair, I'd rather not be in the bottom three for 2 weeks. Yeah. I must admit, I'd rather not be in there for 2 weeks, but we are. Because we are hot garbage. That's fine. I mean, this is not a show to talk about Everton. This is a show to talk about all the other clubs that are above us.
And there's a lot.
There's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. There's 17 teams above us. Premier League is still... I'd like to say it's taking shape, but it doesn't feel like it's taking shape. It feels like there's still... It's still all over the gaff. You know what I mean? Because... When you look at the
team's taking
the top
shape.
two is the top two, and the top one is the top one. Been saying it all season.
I'm still not. It's still early.
No, I think Liverpool will win the league. I do think they'll win the league comfortably, but that might push Man City to throw everything at the Champions League. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's what might happen. I think City are a victim of their own success. And I've said this before about Liverpool, is that Liverpool are like a machine. They're not I'm not saying they're not a great football team to watch, but they just steamroll over, and they've created this aura.
That's what it is.
They've created this aura that they're unbeatable, certainly at home.
Yeah.
Whereas Man City, I still feel like, and I think we showed this last week, I still feel like they leave enough of the back door open enough that teams think they've got a chance against them. Because and at the moment, because they've got injuries at the back, and I think, in this game they played against Wolves, that leaving the back door open with no pace at the back against someone like Traore, who hasn't been into a barn door since last season, I don't think.
For about a year.
I think the last time he might have scored he scored against West Ham this time last year, or just...
It was on his debut, he never scored again.
Yeah, I think it was West Ham away.
Games,
I think he won 4-0 at West Ham. I think it was when they started badly last season, till they came to Goodison and beat us. Yeah. But they, and I think that's the difference between them and Liverpool. Liverpool, people are always like, why don't they get any injuries, or why don't they do this, or why don't they do that? They play in a very workman-like way. I'm not saying it's not good to watch, but I'm being between the two teams. Yeah. And I think that's what it will enable Liverpool this season. And as I say, they don't seem to get any injuries, not to their key players anyway. I don't know whether that's because, I don't know, maybe they've got a secret lab somewhere, farm animals, taking like livers off them or something.
It is mad, because if they lost Van Dijk, they would clearly be weak. If they lost Mane or Salah, they would clearly be much weaker. But it doesn't happen, and while it doesn't happen, they look like the best team in the land at the moment.
What I would say...
There's 30 games to go. That's what I would say.
I know, I think they'll still win it, though.
No, they probably... Listen, if they blow this, they don't win it this year, they'll never win it. No. And that's the thing.
I mean, some key players, they lost the goalkeeper, and they've been doing all right without him. Yeah. They've won every game. But you're right. You just wonder whether, if they did lose... I don't know, it's like if they lost one of the front three, I still think they'd cope. Maybe they lost two. Maybe not, but I think if they lost one, I think they'd still... Van Dijk, yes. If it was long term, yes, that would be a major issue.
City have lost Laporte, who's their best. They lost him early on, till January. They've lost Sané in the Charity Shield till February. They've lost John Stones. So they've lost 3 players who would play. If Liverpool lost Van Dijk, Salah and Matip or someone, the goalie's a goalie. As long as you can have enough cover in front of him. Adrian's not a bad goalie either. Adrian's a Premier League keeper. But if City had to play with Bravo, they'd still be up there. Now, he might make the odd mistake, but they'd still be right up there. I think if Liverpool lost Van Dijk and Salah, or Van Dijk and Mane is the biggest one of the two at the moment, then it would show. And it's 30 games to go. It'd be unheard of for them to get to May without either of those getting an injury.
No, of course.
And then it's if City can claw back. But Liverpool looks, at this moment, you're right, Liverpool...
8 points is a...
Don't forget, it was 10 at Christmas, though.
No, I know, but I think that's... The difference is, though, I think Liverpool have learned from that, and I think... Put it this way, though, out of the two teams, who's more likely to drop points?
Yeah, no, I'm saying to you.
No,
I agree with you. As we speak, Liverpool look like the favourites because they look the strongest team of the two.
But I think they're the better team, though. Not a better footballing team. They're not a better footballing team. I know that.
They're able to cope with more ways.
They can just, they seem to be...
But again, honestly, if they get a couple of injuries, we'll see what they're like. It's a key players. I'm talking Milner but if they lose like a Van Dijk or they lose a Salah or a Mane for any length of time, 6-8 weeks, then I think
I only think it would be Van Dijk personally. That would for like a month or something.
I mean, the way I look at it, and this is like, and I've said that many times already, that at the moment they are the best team. But I watched games like Southampton away, where they should have been 3-0 down before they took the lead. Leicester at the weekend, if the game was done and dusted, I know Liverpool were the better side, and Leicester with 2 attempts at goal and 74% possession against you, tells you your own story. But Leicester had almost spawned a point out of it, and then someone goes and gives a penalty away. You know, Liverpool, Sheffield United the other week, they ran out of ideas. The goalie throws it in.
They're the things that tell me they're going to win.
If I was Pep, I'd be saying, we've just got to try to hang on to their coattails, because at the moment, everything's going for them. There may be a period in the season when it doesn't flow.
Yeah, of course.
And we have to stay in there.
Yeah,
but at the moment, you can't. You couldn't back against them at the moment.
It will be interesting to see what happens when, when the Champions League starts hitting the crucial point, and whether Liverpool go for it, maybe if Klopp feels the pressure. But then again, who knows? Who knows where we'd be by then?
But they are. You've got to say at the moment they look by far the best team.
And to be honest,
they just hold your hand.
To be honest, it doesn't really worry me at this. I'm not really. It doesn't really ask.
I think last season, once they beat Barca, you kind of just you kind of knew they were going to win that, so and they've won something big, so you kind of just go. Yeah, and I think at the moment we've got our own.
Exactly, I'm not asked. I mean, and this comes back to.
I think for me as well at this stage, because it's only October, I'm just like, whatever. It might be bothering me severely in March when they're marching towards it, but at this moment...
I think the better thing is, though, the early we know they're going to win it, the early we can book.
Get out.
Book places and
get away and hide for a bit.
Listen, when they won the Champions League, I thought that was going to be hell on earth, and you know what?
For a couple of days,
it actually wasn't that bad.
No, after it, listen...
It actually wasn't that... Honestly...
Once it's done, it's done.
Honestly, just...
Make your peace.
If you're on social media, just get rid of all the way. I've said this loads of times, I've muted all the words. Yeah. All, and I mean all. You've got to do all the words. You've got to remember how how bad they are, and but you have to have a look around as well and look for like nicknames and like things like "Si Senor" and all that kind of shit. You've got to do a little bit of like CSI.
Bit of work.
Put the work in, but the rewards.
The rewards
are fantastic. Because honestly, I go on Twitter, and unless it's Liverpool fans like seeking me out, which a few do.
Of course they do.
Then
you'll get away with it.
Then, but honestly, it's and like it all comes down again. It all comes down. Like I messaged you Sunday, and I just said, like I messaged you, and I said, I was in Liverpool City Centre, and it really did. It depressed me, and it didn't depress me because I was seeing all Liverpool stuff. It depressed me how just Everton just don't have any identity in the city anymore. And that's what really annoyed me. And I said to me, I was with Sam, and I said to her, remember when we went to Rome and everywhere was Roma and everything was Totti. And this was 2008. So proper height of Totti's powers. A couple of years after Italy won the World Cup. And everything was Roma and Totti, and there was nothing to be seen in Lazio. And that's what I feel like in this city now. I just feel like that they've gone like that, but we haven't even bothered to go. No. We've just gone,
You've got to have people who want to drive that, though. You've got to have people that want to engage that. You don't have to go, we're better than you, because quite clearly we're not, or we're bigger than you, because quite clearly we're not. But we are still the fourth most successful English club. We are still... a massive club. We are still founder members of, so we've got a massive history. We've got a big fan base, but we do like to shy away from it. I was driving up. I picked Zach up this weekend, the weekend before, and he'd done a night at the museum with the thing. He stayed in the museum, watched night at the museum.
That's boss. I want to do
that.
It
is, it was terrifying. And then he went up and looked at the mummies when he said they snuck up to look at the mummies.
I want to do that. Yeah, that's amazing.
That sounds boss. So I picked them up on the Sunday morning and was driving back up London Road, and there's literally 2 signposts for Anfield, both for Liverpool Football Club Anfield, and I was like to my missus, where's Goodison? Because our ground is literally that way. And it's just things like that I know it doesn't really matter, and people will go, we're not tourists, that's why. But but people do come into the city to go and watch Everton. Our ground is that way.
We should be tourists, see? A lot of people come into this city and they come in as put it this way, right? Loads of people come to this city, they'll come in blank, like a complete blank thing, right? I've seen it. I've been in the Everton shop loads of times where people are walking in, they've got Liverpool bags, and they'll buy something from the Everton shop, right? It happens all the time. So, and I've done that when I've gone to places. I've gone to places and I've gone, right, I'll buy, I'll get that, and I'll get that. You know,
stuff in Dortmund and nothing.
No, but like, if there's 2 teams, you'll go, well, I've got no affinity to either, so I'll grab that and I'll grab that. Yeah. But Everton don't do that, and Liverpool do. And when people come to the city, they're just bombarded. But what I'm saying is, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know there was another club in this city. Yes, we've got the club shop, but even it's all dark. Liverpool, I was in the Everton shop on Sunday and there wasn't a soul in there. There was not one customer. Honestly, I was the only customer. Right, and next door, like 2 doors down, is this big Liverpool shop buzzing. And that's fine, because you can understand why it's like that. But Everton's is like, just the place looks, it's all dark and all the signage is dark. And Liverpool's is like bright and welcoming and is at the side of the escalator and perfectly positioned. And it's just like, apart from the Everton shop, there's nothing in Liverpool to suggest. All the stalls are just covered in Liverpool scarves. All the pubs have got Liverpool stuff in the windows. You know, there's even a pub in the city centre now, which is rebranded to Jürgen's, and it was a sports bar, and now it's just a Liverpool bar. It's decided, well, that's the market, clearly.
Well, of course,
and I understand that. I do fully understand that's a business thing. But Everton just don't have a presence, and so Liverpool are just backing themselves and making themselves bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy for them, and that's what I'm saying. That's where it's funny enough, perversely though, that's where I'm sort of like, it doesn't feel as bad, because Everton are doing, certainly football-wise, are not doing anything to deal with it, but Liverpool are backing themselves. So therefore, like we're saying, when they beat Barcelona, you just go, well, they deserve it. When they win the league this season, they'll deserve it, and it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel as bad because I'm becoming numb to it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's all it is. That's essentially what I'm saying. I'm essentially numb to the whole thing.
Well, it's because you've seen their progress since Klopp coming. You have, whether we like it or not, it's tangible. You can see where they're building and how they're getting better. In that same period of time, we've had 3 different managers and spent 400 million quid, and we're further away now than we've ever been.
Well, it's quite interesting, because I know this is a little bit Liverpool heavy, but I do think it is. You've got to deal with it. That's the point. It's like a therapy session. I've said loads of times, the stand is a really interesting sort of
Kickstarter, wasn't it, for them?
But it's also I'm trying to think of the right word. It symbolises what they've done. They've built something, but maintained their traditions, if that makes sense. So having like the stand and Klopp and Moore and people behind the scenes are building this one thing, whereas Everton, it's just all over the place.
Well, we're almost in limbo.
But we are, and that's good symbolism for the ground as well.
No, but that's what I mean. We're in till Bramley Moore. Yeah. It's almost like, which I think is totally the wrong strategy for Everton to take, but it's almost like, I'll all be sad when Bramley Moore's here, because we'll be there. And you know what? It will improve because of the ground there. It will. The presence will improve in the city. But that's 4 years till we get there. So you can't, by that time, we will have shrunk instead of continually. And you've got to fight to stand still when your neighbours are top of the league and everything's getting bigger and they're a world brand and all. You've got to fight to even just maintain where you are now. We're going like that. Listen,
I just hope.
He had an eye-opener, didn't he, last week?
I
Let's leave it at that.
I hope when they get the planning permission, that Everton just go...
It better that go off then.
That it's like countdown.
Yeah,
like countdown to the new ground. And we start putting like...
clock and everything.
We put posters all over the city and it's like countdown. And either it's like 4 years...
Don't
and
care.
You know what? I don't know. Well, I don't know how much it would cost.
Have it on Goodison.
But imagine you had like a clock, like a countdown clock,
should have.
somewhere in the city centre, or even on
that Bramley moment,
or even on the big, or no,
there as well.
On the billboard at Lime Street, right?
Yeah.
Every week, buy an advertising slot and just have countdown to Bramley Moor, countdown to Everton's new ground.
Make it. You've got to. Everton needs to get some proper top people in lots of positions. Retail will be the first one, just because I'm going off I'm just thinking of what you've just said about the shop. Get an expert in to go.
Mate.
Look at, the way they have like body language experts and they come in and they changed the way you greet them. Or Everton need that in to go, is this shop welcoming, first and foremost? Does it make you want to come in it? The answer would be no.
When I was in town,
we could have done this as a separate thing.
I know. Patron circle of trust this, right? So I'm in town.
And we have got some Red Sewer patrons.
Well, no, this is not to do with
No, I'm saying, so they might find this interesting.
No, I'm saying about this now. So I'm in, I'm walking out of a shop and I see this lad walk past. And it's me mate who runs the Everton shop in town.
Oh, yeah.
And he went, where have you been? He went, I've been to City. Been working at City for the last few weeks. And I was like, oh, no. Yeah, I've been doing, he went, he said, they're all fuming now. Because normally they take 100,000 on a match day.
City.
And they only took 70 today.
Man City?
Yeah.
How did they take that much?
He said they only took, and they're fuming about it. And I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I don't know what Everton take on a match day, but like, it was just, you know, when you just like, they'd got him in to like, because he's good at his job.
So he left Everton now?
No, he works for Fanatics.
Oh, so he
so
goes.
that he gets.
So
they do City do Fanatics as well.
Yeah, no.
He goes to like Dortmund and everywhere. When there's like a big thing on, he went to like the Open. He went to does the NFL games. When he's a good boss at his job, and when they ask him to, so they'll say to him, "Can you go down and do this?" So go down. He's done F1 and everything. He gets, but his main job is where he's the manager of the Everton shop, and but I always go and see him. I always go and have a chat with him and stuff, and I'm always in there moaning, just like going, "What's that? Oh my God, that's I could do better." All the time. I think he must get sick of me going in and just moaning. But because it is always like, it is always quiet in there, and there's no, it all feels dark. It's like they've took the wrong attitude towards it. But we should, hopefully when we get the planning permission, we need to just start shouting our heads off about it. Because remember when we did that video about becoming Atletico Madrid, we're becoming Espanyol, we're becoming a club that when we went to when I went to Barcelona and a while ago, and there was just like zero presence there of it, and you know,
it's not good, is it?
No. What are we talking about? So anyway,
they got a penalty.
Liverpool 1-2-1, got a jammy penalty in the last minute. Also, Trent Alexander should have been sent off as well. Or nasty challenge.
Yeah, he should have. I mean, VAR should have looked at it. It was a red card. Childry's one on Salah wasn't a good challenge either. Either side of that, good goal by Mane, good ball by Milner. Leicester, Maddison, goalie should have done better. Adrian goes under him, but listen, you know, Leicester, like you said, almost pinched the point he didn't deserve really. But when you go and you've got to 93 minutes at Anfield and they've ran out of ideas really. Liverpool, it was huff and puff at that stage. Don't do anything silly. Yeah. And Schmeichel first of all stops Albrighton dealing with it by coming off his line. He didn't have to. And then once he pulls out of it, Mane turns back into 4 men. Like you said, there's no reason to make the challenge. And he catches him slightly. Now, if Mane goes down at that point, had gone for a penalty. What's he doing? He doesn't take that step and then throws himself to the floor. And that, to me, that isn't a penalty. Yeah. But Milner, you knew, always scores pens, doesn't he? So big win for them. Slim Brendan on the line, looking a little bit forlorn at the end.
And as we said, in the other game, City, huffed and puffed against Wolves. I mean, fair play to Wolves. Read a really good... This is getting bad, isn't it? Read a good piece on The Athletic.
Oh, yeah.
Genuinely a good piece. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
I've
got good writers. So.
Some of the best in the world.
No, but they have, all joking aside, they have got good writers.
Honestly, they've got some of the best writers in the world. You know, absolutely. No, really good story. It was about... Because, actually, this is not a plug.
You'll know when it's a plug.
You know when it's a plug. But it was a good story because it was about how footballers recover.
Oh, yeah.
And they did a story about Wolves. They played in Turkey. I mean, another good win on Thursday. They played in Turkey. And it was how they recover afterwards. And it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Really fascinating piece about how... and this is stuff that doesn't get written normally. And that's why some of the stories are really... That's why I like it. It's got some of the best writers in the world. And it was some of the stuff like they had a chef straight away.
Well, that's like proper journalism, though.
No, I know.
Some of the best writers in the world. No, it's proper journalism for the simple reason that they can move away from clickbait stuff that they don't need to do because they're allowed.
And it was about like how, like straight after that game, it's all about recovery. Then it becomes about recovery and recuperation. And now there was a chef, and the chef straight away is giving them like pizzas and burgers, and like straight away, and like some of the players like saying. And this was the other thing, the journalists had access to the players. Imagine that. Journalists having access to the players. Fucking hell. And the players like Connor Cozy, because I'm sure Connor Cozy talks like that as well. Like saying you don't want to eat food like that straight after the game, but you're force feeding yourself because you've got to get the carbs in. People will be like, oh, pizza? And it's like, no, it's carbs. It's like, it's a proper chef making them, by the way. So stuffing them and then getting on the plane, and then they have this was some of the stuff was amazing. So they have 2 sets of recovery tights. Right. So they have so no, like when they wear the tight, it's to
no, like the flight socks.
It's this so they have 2 sets, and this to stimulate the blood to start recovery, and one of them specially made for the plane as well. Because that's the worst place. And on the plane it's like again it's all they had private jet, and it was all done properly to make sure that so that the recovery,
the muscles
and then also they don't want to stay over because they want to get home because they don't want to ruin their. They were saying about saying some managers will say, oh, you can have afternoon training today, and they go, no, we never have afternoon training, and the reason is they never want their players to come out of a sleep pattern, because if you let players sleep in, they'll become more tired, their bodies will become more lethargic. And he said, you've got to keep them in the patterns.
It's training at... A lot of managers do that, train at the same time. And
that's
a lot of managers used to like to train at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that it was the same on a match day, so your body's alive for that.
Well, this was more to do with, like, you keep them that you can train and then go and have a sleep, and then you might have to be playing later on. But it was it was just so fascinating, the detail.
Yeah.
This was just on Wolves. It would be all clubs would do this. It was just so fast. I mean, apart from us. Apart from us. No, it was just really fascinating the lengths they go to get their players ready, because they were like, we won, but that was it. Straight on, everything's now geared to Manchester City and getting everyone back in it. And you know, they went there, they hung into the game, got 2 goals on the break, and with Traore got a perfect player for that. And yeah, it just shows you that how much work goes into getting players sorted. And they've had a slow start, but now they've won 2 on a bounce, I think, haven't they? And 1 in the Europa League as well. So, bastards.
The young, listen, they've had a good week, haven't they? They were fortunate to beat Watford last week, own goal, and you know, it was a crap game. And then they've gone to Besiktas and hung on in there, and Will Bowley scored in the 94th minute or something to win it for them. When you look turns like that, then you believe that things are going your way. And they've done it against Sunday. Silver, it's the bar. The keepers had to make good saves, although Catrone's missed the sitter first half. And the young in got the goal what they needed, and fair play to them.
That was another thing in the article, though, as well, saying that's why they get so many late goals.
Because they're fit.
It's because of the preparation is so good.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant, isn't it? Because that's fine margins. That, you know, where We've spent the last 2 days talking about Everton not doing anything fine. Well, it is fine margins with Everton because we're not doing simple things that we could be cutting out those errors, and we're getting punished for it, whereas Wolves are going the extra mile because they have to, really. They've still got...
And this is where, you know, this is where the manager is so important, because the manager, whoever the managers of whatever club, they bring all that into it. You know, they bring all that into it, don't they? It is their job to look after the fine margins. It is their job. Yeah. It is their job to say, at the end of the day, to say things like that. Like, you know, if the physio comes and goes, right, got this new thing, 2 sets of tights. It's the manager's job to go, no or yes. We had this with Martinez and Koeman. Martinez wanted to build those sleep pods, so players had somewhere to go and sleep after maybe training, or if they had...
They wanted to do double sessions as well, didn't they?
Yeah, or it was like away trips and like that. And then Koeman come in straight away and went, no, we're not having that. And also said, and then, you know, Koeman...
They created the divide
then he wanted to create the divide, so academy players had to feel like they had to earn to get into that side of the training ground, and then he give them the players their own lounge, which, you know, we've been in, and it's amazing. And it does come down to different managers, what they want. People can go, well, it's this person did this, or for those things, you know, we've got a director of football and all that, but the decisions come down to the manager at the end of the day. If he wants the players, he says when the players are coming in for training, you know, whether they're coming in the next day or what time they're coming to training, or it comes down to the manager, you know, and that's...
You've got to use everything available to you, haven't you? It's that pressure now. We were speaking off camera before about... I was saying to you, listening to Roy Keane and Mourinho and all that, and they're talking about margins. You know, one of the things is what is the target? You know, everybody should know the target in the club. But Roy Keane's talking about giving people, you know, people going, we need time to implement this. Oliver Kay's written an article.
The Athletic.
In the Athletic. But talking about time, managers.
It is really good.
But Roy Keane said the right thing is that that's great, but it's an excuse.
You've got to win games.
You win games with football, and then you build something, and then people can look back then and go, look at the time he's had there, and look at what they've done. Like Klopp now. Klopp's still bringing in Surfer, a world champion surfer, to do, obviously, as we see with Mane the weekend. It's working. You know, the dives are great.
Dive off the board
is fantastic.
Shock!
But he's brought, you know, he's dealt with losing Buvac. He was the brain. He brought Lindemans in, I think his name is. He's another one. But they've got the psychologist in. They've got the nuclear physicist in. But that's all come over a period of time, and he's been allowed to do those things because he's been winning games. And so once you start winning games and you go, I want to bring a nuclear scientist in because he's going to look at the way this works and that works, the club goes, yeah, go ahead, because you're winning. But if your results are crap, it's interesting, that Athletic article. It is interesting because it's about Solskjaer. Because Solskjaer and Silva, it kind of mirrors each other. But the Stoke manager, Nathan Jones, who was the Luton manager, and he's in, and they're kind of going, yeah, but he's been there for that long and seen nothing. We've literally seen nothing. You keep going. Yeah. Give us time to turn it.
Time for what?
Time for what? And again, going back to Roy Keane said, you don't need any time. You go into a football club and you're the manager. You win games. You don't go, oh, we're building. It's not like you build a house and then all of a sudden it all works. You see the bits of it going up. You don't put the first bricks down and you can see the end of it. And it's there. You'd have to get to that stage to put the roof on. Whereas some
you can't be over a year into a project and still be conceding the goals we concede off set pieces.
It's not invisible progress, is it? It's not invisible progress. It's not. There's progress there, and you might go along with that line.
I'm going to say, oh no, I'm going to say something bad now. So there's an article with Paddy Boylan on the
Why didn't we do this for a plug for that?
There's an article with him this week. Oh my God, honestly, this is not
planned.
But there's an article.
Shows what we've been reading.
We've been reading it. There's an article with him about he went to the under 18s this week where they got beat 6-1, and he was saying how Brands behind the scenes is getting the academy sorted, and is you know, and now, but also it's about Liverpool as well, and how Liverpool about, because this is something Klopp's done. Klopp is completely. It says in it, Liverpool didn't used to care about the academy. Used to buy players at 16, and when Klopp come in, he was like, no. But also they shrunk their size. I think it was 230, and now it's 170. the amount of kids they have.
Right.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
He said, so Everton used to have free reign. He said he don't anymore. And he said Everton kids don't actually, there's no pathway now. Liverpool have got first teamers who are kids. Everton don't. The bottleneck has stopped people getting into the first team, like Tom Davis. But he was saying Brands is getting that sorted, and it is tangible. That's tangible as well. A lot of it we don't see because we don't see that side of things. Because for us, tangible results is a fit play coming into the first team, and there are kids there who look good, and Anthony Gordon's and Dobbins, is it?
Dobbin, yeah.
So there is that, but he is sorting that out, and that's his remit. That's not Silva's remit. So that's an interesting article as well. Can I always give you a reading list here? Yeah. Should have the book club, shouldn't we?
No, it is.
So that's interesting, showing almost like two different sides of the club, where Brands is doing it on one side, and I know Brands is coming under a lot of criticism, but don't forget his remit isn't just the first team. He was brought in to reorganise the whole of the academy as well.
Brands is getting stick from some quarters regarding a centre-back or a centre-forward, but the reality is, and we must never lose sight of the reality is, Everton have got a squad of players that is good enough to be in the top six. So even with or without the centre-back or the centre-forward, Everton should be in the bottom three.
Yeah. There you go. Liverpool have extended the lead, and City, I'm sure Athletic will get a lot more subscribers.
Yeah.
If you do subscribe to it, though, use our link, because we get money for that. So you're helping the channel. If you do, don't have to. I'm just saying, if you do, use our link. So it's not exactly a hard sell. No, just saying. Just if you want to subscribe,
if you're going to do it, do it through our link. If you're not, don't worry about it.
If you don't
end off.
Don't worry about it.
No push. Done.
No, we do get a little bit of extra money if you do, though. But we get more money from you being patrons, so that's fine. The third best team in the country, Tottenham, are shit. They are just an absolute mess. I mean, there are reasons, apparently, allegedly, but
it is weird.
But it's weird, and they've gone to Brighton and been destroyed 3-0. The goalie's dislocated his arm, shoulder, elbow.
Season, isn't he?
It's at least January, but it could be one of them. Dislocations are always weird, aren't they?
And he's a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, not wrong.
Well, I mean, I don't know whether he is, but he's a legend.
But they've just been battered there, and they're in a real mess. To the point where people are saying Pochettino could get the bullet.
I'll be amazed if he's still a manager in about a month, if it carries on, because they're just crap at the moment. 7-2 at home by Bayern. You expect to go to Brighton. Spurs are they've got good players. They've proved, to me, that squad of players they've got with him is still the third best team in the Premier League. And yet they're about 11th or 12th.
They are 9th. They've got 4 more points than us.
Right. And we've been shite. Royally shite. And they're getting spanked by teams like Brighton, losing at home to Newcastle. They're just a mess. They're an absolute mess.
But it's a mess that is because, I mean, number one, I think the recruitment has been, or how they've it's not recruitment as such, it's just the transfer policy's just gone really bad. They've come to a stage where they're hanging on to all these players where they should have got rid of a load of them, and they haven't. And they haven't recycled. I've seen a graphic the other day that said, I think it was either maybe 5 years ago, in the last 5, so City and Liverpool, I think, got like 2 players left that they had 5 years ago. Tottenham got 8. And they're still playing. And I think that's the problem. They haven't changed up. They haven't recycled the players quick enough. They haven't gone through them quick enough. And I know some of them will be young.
Because they were younger players.
But then you've also got your Aldo Wilders and your Vertonghen and people like that, and Lloris, and they haven't changed it up. They haven't tried to improve quick enough. And and if you lose and play,
some people will say that that's a good thing because you're keeping the team together. You always need to freshen it up, of course you do. I think his big problem's been people like Eriksen. I'd have just sold him in the summer. He wanted to go. What's the point in hanging on to him? And then obviously,
do you think they are? Do you think they're a victim of being a club that aren't actually a big club? So therefore, they've thought, we've got this really good team. can we improve it? And they haven't been able to improve it because they haven't been able to attract the players. So therefore, they've clung on to the players that have made them good. Because I think it's all right from the outside going, "Oh, Tottenham are this and Tottenham are that," but they're not. They're the same as us. They're the same as us. They've just managed to get a new ground quicker than we have and stumbled on a really good team. Part of that being the fact that they had Dele Alli and Harry Kane.
That's the big thing. Harry Kane has been the saviour and also the hindrance at the same time, if that makes sense.
It doesn't, no. Okay. But explain it.
For the way they play. They've got a lad come through the youth team and the academy and blah, 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 and he's turned out to be one of the best strikers in Europe, because he is.
Yeah.
Goal scoring wise, he's brilliant. So the way Tottenham play doesn't allow for them to go and bring in other centre forwards, other strikers, other players who are of a high quality. Plus the fact that they're, like you just said, they're not a top level club and they haven't won anything, so it's difficult to. But they are always in the Champions League, or they have been recent times. But because of Kane, nobody of any level has wanted to come and sit on their bench. So if you're a top striker or a striker who's getting there with potential wise, and Spurs come to you, you'd be looking and going, well, I'm not going to replace him because he scores 25 goals a season. So he's going to be your main man. Whereas they haven't got someone like Gabriel Jesus, have they? Now, Jesus plays second fiddle to Aguero because City win things. And he's going to take over from Aguero, quite clearly. He's the number 9. But he doesn't play all the time. But City couldn't have Gabriel Jesus sitting on the... Tottenham couldn't have a Gabriel Jesus sitting on the sidelines. So they've never... And the way they play, the way Pochettino plays, I think, is all geared to Harry Kane. You've seen people like Lucas Moura, who actually finished the season better than...
Son.
Him and Son were brilliant as a duo. They got them to the final. And then in the final, he played Harry Kane, who wasn't fully fit. Instead of leaving Harry Kane on the bench and bringing him on with half an hour left in that Champions League final to break it up and to scare Liverpool a bit, they didn't. He started with him. So once he went through the first 20 minutes, the threat was gone. And then Moura couldn't get it. So they've got, like, Son, I think, is a fabulous player. But I just don't think, I just feel the way they play with Kane, he hasn't, what I think Pochettino should have done was try to mix the style up a little bit. Dele Alli was hot for a while. Now he doesn't even get in. He's on the bench. No, so he's either got an injury that no one knows about, and it's a bad one because he's not been able to get back up to speed, or he's... I mean, you know my thoughts on Dele Alli. I always thought he was massively overrated. He's got a good knack of scoring goals, but he's not the player. I'll still stand by it. Ross Barkley's a better footballer than him. I said it when we had him, and I'll say it again. Barkley's a much better footballer than Dele Alli. Dele Alli is a much better finisher than Ross Barkley, and that divided them. But now even he's not in their team, and there's rumours that he wants to leave. There's rumours Eriksen apparently is going in January. Alderweireld and Vertonghen, they haven't signed. There's 4 of them, I think, who contract rebels. Danny Rose, who they told they were chasing, is now the first choice left back again. So there's a lot of things
that... Trippier because he had a bad
Trippier
season.
went, and Trippier is brilliant for Atletico. So when you look at them, there's a lot of things that mean like they're in flux. And Dombele's a great signing when he settles down. Lo Celso's a really good player. Whether he can do it in the Premier League, we don't know. So you can see that he's trying to turn it. But if I was him, I'd have jumped ship and I'd have said to United, I'm going in the summer.
I just don't think they cycled through it quick enough. I just don't think they tried to improve when they had the chance. And I think now they've come to a point where there's just too much to do at once. If I was Pochettino, Honestly, I'd be telling my agent to get me to United.
I'd have gone in the summer.
No, I know, but I'd be doing that
when
now.
When it was going, and it was February, right, and Solskjaer hadn't been given the job, and there was a lot of talk they're going to go after Pochettino. If I was him, I would have been saying to United, I'm definitely going in the summer. And I'd have said to Spurs, I'm definitely leaving in the summer. Because I think it's everything goes in cycles with a team. And you're right, if they haven't began that cycle, doing it piece by piece.
You have to do it yourself.
You have to do it. And now he's almost got to do it again.
That's what City have been really good at in the last couple of years, last 2-3 years, is getting an understudy ready for the next. And this is what Everton haven't done well. I know we had a discussion about it in the podcast last week, is it's having players already at your club ready to take someone's place so that you can manage them out.
This is something they might struggle with.
But I think they've started to do that already, though.
Where, though?
I think
buy anyone in the summer.
No, I know, but I think they've already done that. I think I think someone like Naby Keita and Fabinho were players that Klopp was prepared to let settle in for a year because he didn't need them immediately. And that's what I'm saying. Okay, up front, they might. But even when they brought
Van
in...
Dijk's 29, so where's it?
No, I know, but...
29, so where's his?
But he's got to go. I know, but... All right, let's say in the summer, they look... Or maybe... I'm not saying he is, but he put that Dutch kid in. Who's to say... No, I know, but who's to say that they're not thinking of... And Matip's not that old, and the other kid's not
My mate's nephew plays for Liverpool. He signed a 3.5-year deal, so we obviously think he's all right. He's a pro. And he's that Vandenberg's just taking his place at the moment in the thing, but according to like the coaches and stuff, like Liverpool, they've been told to play that Vander thingy, but this thingy Clayton's better. Yeah. The lad who's off the team at the moment because.
That happens,
but that's about pro. That's,
no, but that's what I'm saying.
Path, isn't it?
I think that's what I'm saying. No, those teams and United did it for years.
Yeah, United were brilliant.
Ferguson always knew. People were like, "What are you doing?" Wenger was good at it as well.
Yeah.
Wenger would get rid of a player knowing that there was someone already there that no one had been paying attention to. We've said it.
You have to try to keep it going.
We've said this for years, though. We said it about Baines. We've said it about Coleman. You know, you've got to have that player.
Good clubs do it, don't they?
Yeah,
City have done it, I suppose. They're still doing it with the fullbacks, aren't they? You know, he's brought Cancelo in, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Kyle Walker's there, and it's like, well, he'll play sometimes. Zinchenko's there. He's got Mendy there. They're still looking at another left back. So, and they've got, in fact, he brought Thingy back.
The kid from
the one who they had and then went and has come back. So
they brought Rodri in. I don't think they expected Rodri to play that many games. Bernardo Silva, they brought him in like almost like a year before they needed to. They're getting trying to do it with Phil Foden now.
So they're future proofing.
Jesus is the same. They're trying.
They've got him.
Jesus,
he's back.
They're trying to. He's back. They're trying to. He's like they're getting him ready to take Aguero. You know,
and then the next one will come in, won't it?
That's what they do. But to be fair, great win for Brighton.
It was he's done. Graham Potter's doing well.
Young lad Connolly scored twice on his debut.
Yeah.
Which shows that.
Maupay scored as well.
Yeah, sometimes they're doing all right. You know,
they are doing all right.
2 more points than us.
Yeah.
1 more. Yeah, 2 more points. So
he plays nice football, Graham Potter. Whether he can, we'll have to see what he can do over the season. Everton's next away game now.
Burnley beat us.
Good win for Burnley.
Yeah.
Crap game.
Terrible game.
You know what's mad about the Burnley game? When there's like comparisons to Koeman's second season, isn't it? Being made.
Yeah.
And he lost his 8th game 1-0 to Burnley. And Jeff Hendrick scored the winner.
There you go. We had 60% of the possession.
Marco Silva lost his 8th game of his second season to Burnley. Jeff Hendrick scored the winner. But, like Koeman, Silva won't be sacked until after. And it's mad, right? Because when we lost that game to Burnley, and Koeman, everyone was like, he could go here because it's looking bad. He left it, come back, we had Brighton away. We've got Brighton away in a couple of weeks.
Crazy. Norwich 1, Villa 5. Norwich had 57.6% of the possession. But, and this is the real one, Villa had 12 shots on target.
How many?
7 on target. 7 off target. 12 on target. 7 off target. Total shots 22. Norwich had 21 shots. But point being is Villa had 12 on target.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Well, that's why you score 5
That's how you win for games of football. I mean, everything it seemed to go in.
It did. I mean, we watched the highlights again before, and Norwich could have been 4-0 up before they went 1-0 down. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how Tom Heaton kept some of the things of the chances Norwich had out of his net. One was handball as well. That Tyrone Mings handled twice in the same move, which wasn't given.
Incredible.
But then they break and Wesley gets a bundles one in, took it on his chest, how he's allowed to, and didn't hit the most convincing shot into the corner of the net, and you 1-0 down, and they did. They committed, men. Villa, Wesley missed a chance for hat-trick before half-time, missed the penalty, good save from the keeper, and then put the rebound against the keeper over the bar.
Yeah.
But Jack Grealish, committing players, and there's something again when you can't help look at these teams and look back to us and see what we're not doing. And Jack Grealish gets the ball, runs with it and commits defenders. So he drags people out of position. And he means that it frees up other players because he's driving at the heart of Norwich's defence. And he lays it off lad gives him it back and he side-foots it in. It's game over, and that's because you've got a midfield player prepared to break the lines, prepared to travel with the ball. Whereas Everton, I mean, this is Villa we're talking about. You've just come up, and yet you've got people like McGinn and Grealish and El Ghazi and players like that trying to commit and get forward. We're an established Premier League team, finished in the top 8 last season, spent a lot of money again, playing 2 defensive midfield players and sitting on the halfway line. And you look and go, nah, it's not going to just click unless the manager has almost a lobotomy. And he gets up and goes, it's like someone's stolen his Brave gene off him. Honestly, that's what, to me, and I've backed him, but I just looked at him the other day and thought, where's the bravery?
I think what the problem is, Baz, is he's come to a club where there's actual pressure.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, Collymore.
That's all there is.
Collymore's destroyed him today.
That's all there is.
In the Athletic, no, he hasn't written for the Athletic. Collymore in the Mirror has destroyed him. Said, I don't know how he's got to be able to manage a club of Everton.
It comes down to this. He's come to a club where there's real pressure.
Well, that's what key.
Pressure from the fans, pressure from the owner, pressure from being in the Premier League, or and also the pressure of the top 6 is wide open, literally wide open.
Yeah. You can't hide behind United and Arsenal and Chelsea.
It's wide open, and you could drive a truck into it if you wanted to, and some clubs are, and that pressure you can't handle it. And I think that comes to the crunch. I just don't think there's been pressure. Olympiacos, yes, pressure.
But he had a good side.
Big club, but he had a decent side,
and he done well.
And he had a system, and once it was all in place. Same in Portugal, but I don't think he's ever had the pressure that he's ever had while he's at Everton. And the mad thing is, that pressure doesn't have to be there. It's not even about the results, it's how you handle the pressure, and he hasn't handled it. And the reason he hasn't handled it is because he doesn't know how to communicate with people, and that's why...
It's not even that, it's the changing for me.
Yeah.
It's the ability to look and go, you know what, this isn't working.
No, but what I'm saying with the pressure is that he hasn't communicated what he wants to the fans. So therefore, they haven't given him the time, and that creates a pressure. And where people go, oh, we can't keep sacking managers, but
it's not just that, is it? Because it's like I say, if I give you a hammer and a nail and just put that picture up, and you kept whacking the way you were holding it, you wouldn't just keep doing it, hoping.
No, but if I kept doing it, going, no, I'm going to do this. Yeah. No, I'm continuing to try hammering this into the wall, but I'm trying. I'm trying to do it. No, but you're doing it wrong. Yeah, but I'm trying to do it. That doesn't mean that I should have the job.
No, but what I would do as well is I'd like you to go, this isn't working and my thumb's killing. Let me try it this way, right? Let me try it that way. I'll hold it this way. I'll do it that way. It isn't continuing to do it. It's Bart, isn't it? Ow, ow, ow. That's Simpsons when he keeps getting electric shocks.
We could go and buy a 25 nail hammerer a season player.
To do it for you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Watford, Sheffield United 0-0. Great.
Watford, let's just have it right. Watford are horrific as well. Kike Sanchez Flores is on his last legs apparently at Watford now. They're looking at.
No, he's not.
Leventhal, Adam Leventhal.
Could they take Silva?
I don't know.
Imagine that.
Well, he just took Flores back. So
I know that's different. He was in like the circle.
Yeah, it'll be Maserati or whatever his name is, Maserati, won't it?
They've had 87 managers, and the only one they hate is Silva.
That's mad, isn't it? Well, Leventhal, who's the journalist who's closer then, says that they're asking questions already over Flores. We haven't won a game, have they?
No. It's only 4. It's only 4 points behind us.
No, they haven't won a game, and they've got a cup game against Everton in a few weeks, so to be buzzing.
Welcome to the quarterfinals, Watford. Yeah, 0-0. Although, but good point for Sheffield United, who keep on trucking. And in the last game Saturday, West Ham won, Crystal Palace 2. Crystal Palace come from a goal behind to win.
Your goal of the weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, the West Ham goal was superb.
Was a good
goal is a bit dodgy for the finish, but the move was fantastic.
Started on the edge of their own box.
The move was brilliant, and it was like when it got just into the Palace half, there was about 3 or 4 passes, and they were so incisive. But they were still low, so it was a fantastic goal that by Zabala. But Palace got a penalty. What's his name? Doing that.
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
It was ridiculous. Why he put his arm up? There was no reason to do it either.
And then a controversial winner because The linesman put his flag up. I don't know why. Linesman, stop putting your flags up when the ball goes in the net. Just leave it. Just let VAR deal with it because you look like knobheads and ruin the thing for everyone else. It goes to VAR as it would anyway. And the VAR say he was onside, but dead interesting. And you pointed this out when we were watching the replay. Was that when they did the graph, Matt's graph paper, the ball, the angle is the ball on his head. So, but how can you tell if that ball's touching his head?
When's it left?
When's it left his head?
The lines, They'd almost have to spin the camera round
to the other side
so that you're looking.
Yeah. Why do they always have to start one angle? Surely they should have gone to the side to see if there's any daylight between the ball. And this is where this doesn't make any sense. And this is where they need to make it so there's actual daylight and just simplify it. Because that picture does not show when that ball leaves that player's head.
No. We seen this at West Ham when the City won, didn't we? And we seen it at Leicester the other week. You know, and Leicester ended up beating Tottenham. And that was the thing that day when Spurs really did it, the fan for Tottenham. But that day they were winning 1-0 and scored to make it 2-0 and it's game over. And they're doing that thing and it's like, but you don't know when the ball's left his foot. So you can't say whether he's onside or offside.
And we're all for VAR here, but you can't use it like that. You need to have some kind of, that can't be. That's an unreliable way of telling you whether it's offside. We've already mentioned loads of times about the frame rate of TV, and we've had TV people tell us that, saying the frame rate, there's no way of stopping it. It just can't be done. But when you've got a picture and the ball is there, how many times have you seen a ball, how many times have you been at the match and seen a header and you're thinking it's going towards goal and it's actually going away from goal? It's an optical illusion. A picture there of the ball can't tell me whether there's contact. And it's got to be when it leaves. So, utter nonsense. But even if there had been daylight, it's still a goal. But it's nonsense. Absolutely. Palace won the game and a great win for them. They've gone up to 6. They've got 14 points. They've won 4 of their 8, lost 2, drawn 2. Great start for them.
2 or 3 away wins already for them.
And West Ham are in 8th with 12 points. So both clubs are doing all right. We've got obviously West Ham next.
5 points behind them.
Yeah. Sunday's games, Arsenal beat Bournemouth 1-0. David Luiz, very simple headed goal. Yeah. Bournemouth had lots and lots and lots of opportunities.
Oh, they did. The one when Callum Wilson goes round a goalie. Why doesn't he just shoot?
Goes round the goalie and squares it when he's got an open goal.
Oh, berserk. He should have just hit it goal bound, because if you hit that goal bound, defender's got to deal with it. He slides, could go in anyway, he could break off him, and Josh King was there. Bizarre choice for a centre forward to make.
Both teams only had 2 shots on target in the entire game, which is a bit.
They're both much of a muchness.
But Arsenal are 3rd in the table, and this is what's so annoying again. They've got 15 points. They've only lost 1 game, and
it is mad.
They've had a really good start.
Royally average Arsenal.
Well, they've won 4 of their 8, and the 3rd. Yeah, that's mad.
Quality's not there, is it?
No. As we already mentioned, Wolves beat Man City 2-0. Southampton versus Chelsea. Chelsea winning 4-1. Excellent result. Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Kante and Batshuayi scoring for Southampton. And Chelsea just, again, you know, I said earlier on the season, I wondered where the goals were going to come from, but the goals have come. And
goals are flying in.
The scoring goals, their goal difference is now +4. 1-4, drawn 2, lost 2 on 14 points as well. You know, up there with Leicester and Crystal Palace with 14 points. So, really decent start considering all the young players he's playing. Good mix of experience and youth in there. And Lampard's had a really good start to the season, really, considering.
Yeah. Well, he has it. Listen, he's done a good job at Derby. Plays attacking football. He's got the respect of the players, I suppose, because the thing with Chelsea is it's almost a free hit for them this season because they've been hampered by the transfer ban. Yeah. So he come in, he's a ex-Chelsea player, he's a legend at that club, he's won trophies with them. The fans love him anyway. So they're always going to get behind him. And then when you can't buy anyone, that unites you as well. It did with us under Moyes when we just literally had no money, so we couldn't buy anyone.
I think he's using his squad really well.
He
does play a 4-2-3-1.
No, he might do.
No,
right?
no, it shows though.
But it's a different.
No, because he's got. I mean, he started with Zuma and Tamore at centre back.
Yeah.
Centre midfield pairing of Kante and Jorginho.
Yeah.
Willian, Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi in front of them. And then Tabby Abrams. Yeah. And on the bench, he's got the likes of Ross Barkley, Kovacic, Pulisic, Batshuayi, James. So he's got plenty of talent in there, and he's just using them well. So
if you play attacking football, right, and you've got midfield players that can run and break the lines, Jorginho, I pointed out on the thing how high up the pitch he is, right? But in general, he's the Metson, only sits in the D.
Gomez.
Right, he sits in the D and he just keeps it ticking over all day long. Right, what he's done with Kante is he's got Kante moving and breaking the lines a little bit like Sarri did, really, and a lot of us were like, put Kante back where he's at his best, which is defensive midfield. But if Jorginho's going to play and do that for him and do that role well, fine. Kante has that energy. He's supporting. You've got Willian, Will.I.Am tucking him from one side. You've got Mason Mount buzzing all over the place. Hudson-Odoi. You've got movements, and then you've got Tammy Abraham, who stretches defenders because they're worried about his pace, because he makes good runs. And this is where my criticism of Dom is at times, is that instead of trying to come and get involved and link up play and hold it up, stay on the man and force them back.
We watched the highlights before, though, and there's a lot of
people around them.
A lot of people around them. A lot of people play off him.
Yeah.
Even for the fourth goal, Batshuayi and Pulisic playing a nice little 1-2 with each other. That doesn't happen enough for us. Whereas they've got players moving past them.
But they don't have Sigurdsson.
No, I know, and they don't have Snidland either. They've got Kante. Where we had Garner.
If you had Mason Mount in Everton's team, or say someone like Alex Iwobi, who hang on, we have got Alex Iwobi. And you had him central, making runs past Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the box. Dom would have more space. Iwobi would get in the box, so Charles would be able to get in. So when you look at other teams playing, and I'm only referencing Everton because you just said the 4-2-3-1, that they play a 4-2-3-1, but their midfield very much join in. So it's almost a 4-1-4-1 really, because one of their midfield goes and joins in anyway, and then they play high up. When you watch Liverpool and Man City, they play 3-2-5 really, because they'll have the man holding, two men will push that on, your fullbacks will come round, and their three front men are very narrow at times, which is why they get people in the box. So you're looking at different ways. The 4-2-3-1 can work. The personnel of it is what destroys Everton, and that personnel at Everton is Snidland and Sigurdsson, because they're too slow.
And Coleman.
Coleman.
And in the last game of the weekend, Newcastle 1, Manchester United 0. Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer basically currently keeping the heat off Everton a little bit, I think.
They are, they are.
Newcastle had only, the last game out had been beaten 5-0 by Leicester. Changed it up a bit. Brought in the youngster Longstaff into midfield, and he scores on his debut with 18 minutes to go. He's in there alongside his brother, which is brilliant. Two centre midfielders playing together.
Must be amazing that for the parents. What a day that was for his mum and dad.
And he scored the winner. And to be honest,
and he's a Newcastle fan.
He's got when the ball's coming to him, he's got the freedom of St James's Park.
He could have done anything.
Pick his corner.
Could have done a crossword there before he hit it in. It was United, no pressure on the ball.
Yeah,
just nothing, absolutely nothing, and it's just real bad. Like desire and will to win and stuff, and they're terrible, United.
Look, incredibly, United have had 68% of the possession. That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
12 shots, but only 3 of them on target. That sounds really interesting,
very familiar.
Sounds very, very familiar, that. They also play one up front, Manchester United.
Again. It's a real one, though, like us.
Yeah, it is.
It's a real one.
Player isolated.
It's not a 3.
Player completely isolated. Yeah, they play 4-2-3-1 as well, which is dead
and does they have Matic in there or people like that?
Yeah, Mater and Pereira and Fred and McTominay and
so they've got Fred and McTominay, who don't really, you know, McTominay's all right, to be fair. He's a young lad.
Fred's utter shite.
Fred's shite, and he just sits on the halfway line. And Matters too, he's past it. You know.
Newcastle though went back to playing more of a Benitez style with like 5 at the back, like 5-4-1.
Well, listen, what he did was, let's not lose. We've just been done 5-0 and embarrassed. And if it's 0-0, it's Man United. We can hold our heads up and go, well, it was United, you know, and we've recovered. Yeah. And he, listen, got away with it. United had 2 good opportunities to equalise, didn't take them. And Newcastle won the game. Newcastle will still be bottom 6 or 7, regardless.
Oh, no,
they haven't got any quality in them. But that's a good way to grind out to win. A fair play to him. He bounced back and got a reaction. And that's what you need. You need to be able to react to games, which is another thing why I'm frustrated. The more days go on now after that game, I'm frustrated. I haven't seen a reaction in any game yet from Everton.
Well, United are currently 12th. They've got 9 points. They've lost 2 less than us and got a couple of draws instead. So, but yeah, they're probably keeping the heat.
They're a mirror.
No, they're exactly the same.
I listened to
out of his depth
their fans last week talking about it, and he could have been talking about Everton. The stuff he was saying, he could have been speaking about.
Do you know what makes it worse? Apparently it's the first year Mould are going to win the league, and the last time they won the league was when Solskjaer was at Cardiff.
I thought he won it. Did he never win it with them?
Apparently no. I don't. That needs to be confirmed, but I seen him on United tweeting that. Fans tweeting that. So, listen, him and Silva are out their depth. I'm simple as that.
I think you're going to say out the door.
They're out their depth, and they probably both will be out the door soon. It'd be harder to sack Solskjaer because
who would they sack him for? Like we're talking about managers, right? Yeah. Now today, we may as well finish with this. Yeah. Today, Hens Haag is the new Everton #1 apparently. You know, the press is starting with that. I don't think he is, but that's what the press is.
Well, there's another thing saying Blanc as well.
But Everton, there's a few managers Everton could go and get. They could get Rafa Benitez, they could get they could try for Jose Mourinho, they could get this Hens Haag, they could get Laurent Blanc. There's a few. Sam Allardyce was championing Eddie Howe this morning.
So you're going to say he was championing himself then?
No. Championing Eddie Howe. No. He said he's what he said was he's a fan of he's an Evertonian,
I get all
and he's a good manager. I don't want Eddie Howe. I'd rather have Hens Haag. But United, I think it's a bit more difficult for them where they go. They could get Laurent Blanc. He used to play for them. He used to play for them. So, and he's a World Cup winner and stuff like that. So he's had a lot of experience. So he's one who potentially they could go for. But when I look around for other Manchester United managers, other than Pochettino, who they really wanted, but allowed him to, well, it might have been his decision. I don't know who
what about the fella from Ajax?
To go to United?
Yeah, because he's had the pressure of handling them, and you know, they are a big club.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the pressure in the league's not that big, but pressure, you got to Champions League semi-final, very unfortunate not to get past.
He won the league though, didn't he?
Yeah, he won the league first time in like 5 years, wasn't it?
I don't know, because I don't know whether he could, but I don't know. Allegri might be one they might be able to convince, because he's a fantastic coach, and he's at Juventus, and they're a big club, and I think United, I'd love Everton to go for Allegri, but I just think, I don't know.
Wenger? Well, he said he wouldn't go to any other team, didn't he? But now he said he's ready to return, so I think he would. I think he'd go to United. You see, someone like Wenger with a younger coach, to Solskjaer, but someone else of that ilk, you know, to take over in a couple of years. Fair enough, but for them, it's a bit more tricky. I think for Everton, there's a lot of options on the table, so I think it'd be easier to sack Marco and replace him very quickly, unless United went for Benitez. Would I be prepared to give up Benitez just to see that happen? No, I wouldn't.
No, because it's about us.
No, I want Benitez. Sorry, I want Benitez. You can have all your fancy pots and pans.
Who would you want, Benitez or Jose?
I mean, I'd want Jose. I'm not stupid. I'd want Jose. I want the circus. I want the fair. I want the monkeys. I want the elephants. I want it all. The lions, the tigers, the bears.
What are you giving me your top 3 in preference?
Mourinho, Benitez, and then
I'm gonna say, give it to Moise. aren't you? Arteta.
I'd have Arteta after before.
Day 3. Do you think?
Yeah, if that's like a fantasy 3. People are like, I don't want Mourinho, and I'd bring the whole circus with you. Bring it all. I want the circus at Everton. I want the circus at Everton, because at the end of the day, that's where we're going to be playing, at the circus in the Bramley Moor. It's going to be a big tent. No, I want the circus. I have no problem with it all. People are like, you want that at your club? I want the circus at Everton. Make some noise. Let's do it.
You watch him talk and you just go,
yeah.
He's got that presence, hasn't he?
He would just tear shit up at Everton. It would be hilarious.
He's got that presence that you
great.
Just go, if he talks, you listen.
Yeah, exactly. He hates Liverpool as well.
And he hates
Liverpool.
Yeah,
Absolutely hates them.
That's what be good.
Think about him, right? Remember when they beat them in the League Cup? Remember the League Cup final? Remember how much he wound up when he won it for Chelsea? And remember when Chelsea beat Liverpool for City to win the title? Remember that as well? Remember how he ran down, giving it all that?
He hates them, doesn't he?
That's because he hates them.
No, he does hate them.
He hates them. Now imagine he was our manager and he went to Anfield and he came up with some just mad plan to beat them, and it worked. And he just walked down to our fans, long-suffering Evertonians, started giving it all that.
On the pads.
Honest to God, it would be... You'd never get so much joy.
Yeah, they're like iconic moments, aren't they?
You'd never
Imagine the Gurner stood there fuming, almost laughing, because he can't believe what's happened to Marino.
Liverpool have had 87 shots.
Smacking
We've
the pads.
had one shot, and it was by design that we had one shot and one.
That was the plan.
Yeah,
almost like Sam Allardyce's draw there with Rooney, but just worked out even better.
That's the plan.
And have him sitting in the thing.
There you go, on that beautiful dream. The Premier League.
We all know we're getting Eddie Howe.
Yeah, we all know we're getting some
Allardyce is back.
We're getting the manager who currently manages Fraser Hornby at that Belgium.
Yeah.
Well, why did you bring him in, Bill? Well, I seen what he got out of Fraser, and I thought, that's the man. I rung Fraser, and Fraser said, yeah, he's great. Can't understand the word he says,
but I think he's good.
He seems to like my hair.
And my moustache.
There you go. The Premier League show will be back in 2 weeks' time. Obviously can't be back next week because there's no Premier League stuff. So there you go. Thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe to The Athletic, then please do. Honestly, it's good and it'll help us. If you don't, that's fine also. Just stay patrons. Stay patrons.
More interested in being patrons,
stay
I'll be honest.
Patrons for life. See you later. I'm a motherfucking patron for life.